baby. 313 Detroit love, the Motor City. Detroit love, can't nothing stop me. Detroit love, I love my city. Detroit love. Welcome to the episode, Middle Ground with JLE, where we treat you like family. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, the JLE Experience. On music and rights, don't copyright on Facebook no more. Another great episode, season 14, as promised yesterday. This episode is about my latest book endeavor. It's a political thriller book, and what led me on this journey to do it, I came up with this title a while ago after I got my degree. And it's a funny title when I released everything. And I was sitting there one day like, that sounds like an interesting title. That could be a book. I don't know what kind of book, though. I think I wind up watching something on TV and like, oh, you love political thrillers, fantasy, action, drama, all the superhero stuff. What if you turn this into a political story? FBI agents and all that type of intrigue. I'm like, well, give it a try, see what happens. So I had to come up with the villain. And when I came up with the villain, I started thinking like, well, he got to have some of my personality. And like, early 2000s, people swear up and down, Jeff, you be on some Pintor from G.I. Joe. Like you think you're an emperor or something where you be out here. And I'm like, you want it your way, and if it ain't your way, kick rocks. And I'm like, you know what? Let's take that type of mindset, very intelligent, egocentric, and make them part of something where they have means and their take on things. So you got to have because one thing I've learned from Marvel and DC, shout out to them brands, every great story got to have a great villain and a great hero. It sucks if it don't, That's why, we have people iconically, you think of Batman, you think of the Joker. Superman, you think of Lex Luthor. Marvel, well, when you say Spider-Man, you might think of the Green Goblin. Other people have, I can't say the Avengers have like one set main enemy besides Ultron, but so I wanted to make sure both the people, the villain is a good villain for the political thriller book, and a hero is someone that's trying to fight the upheaval battle to stop their plan. I'm like, okay. And then I started, okay, well, you got to have a team to rock with. And when I thought of the boss of the FBI agent, I ain't giving too much away. I thought about my nephew. And I called my sister and brother-in-law and I asked him if I could use Cleo 9. Because I always thought he could achieve so much once he really got focused on that path. And they honor me by letting me use his name. So Cleo Ringo is the FBI director in the book. And he's integral in the story because as you read it, and once I'm believing it can become a movie or a series, you understand connections and everything. So his teammate got to have a female, got to have a ride and die, and she's a witty character where they bounce off each other,
And I took from people I've known over the years, female wise, that was real cool with me, and put them characteristics in her character. Like if you're writing a story, character development is a part of it. Even when I wrote my comedy movie script, every character got to have their own journey of who they are, and you always got to have someone that's in the middle of everything that don't even know they're in the middle. That's where the political Capitol Hill and all them things come into play. And when you have that, because you had that number one henchman dude, he got to be on point too. And that dude, he's smooth with it when he get down. And I found myself, because I've done the first edit, I might do one or two more because I want it to be as close as perfect before I release it this month or close to my birthday. I already came up with the book cover I like. So it's like something calculating mentally. So I'm going with that once I get all that together. But even I found myself when I was rereading it, had to fill in some stuff because you always gotta do your touch ups in the story. But man, I started getting lost in the story. Like, dang. Even though I read it and I read it, I wrote it, I know how the ending ends, and I'm still like, dang, this kind of jacked up. Well, certain plot scenarios that happen in the story, I'm just saying, like, man, you really wrote this. And I was all in, like, man, I can see this on one of these platforms or the big screen, wherever, in real time with the action sequences that I wrote in there. So I'm like, man, I'm really, really excited about it. It's my first time dabbling in stuff I'm really into and put into book because, me and God have a deal. I'm definitely going to do the inspiration, self-help stuff. But I have a lot of different tastes, and he cool with me working on these other things. I mean, every story is always going to be good versus evil. That's what I believe in. I mean, I grew up in the 80s. Super Friends, Transformers, Thundercats. It was always good versus evil. So I really can't write a story where it just don't go nowhere or evil just always winning. Evil gonna have a moment because sometimes they get the better hand of the situation. But man, to me, it's a great story. I think you guys are gonna like it when you read it. Probably gonna trip on some of the characters because I think everybody gonna like this villain because my man, he diabolical. Real stuff that going on in the story, he looks at it so trivial. Like, yeah, like give you an example. Man, you shouldn't punch that person in the face. And don't punch anybody, disclaimer. But just an example. And he looked like, well, the punching that person got the objective done. That was just what needed to be done. Like, that's the type of thought process. Like, that's how little you look at punching somebody in the face. Like, dang, this dude is he wow. He don't care. Like, okay. So the story definitely, man, definitely got some plot twists and turns in there for you. And it took me a minute to write it because I started writing it. I would say maybe 2 years ago. I started writing it. No, my bad. Let me back up. I think I started writing this. I think right around the time after I graduated in 2020. I started writing somewhere around there, and then I stopped. And then when my laptop got messed up, I was able to forward everything in my email. I did lose some of it, but I remembered what I had wrote, so I just had to redo it to the best and re-go through because when I got back to it last year to this year and finished writing it, some characters now I forgot what I originally put, so I had to go back, make sure everything flow. And man, it's I mean, it probably had you sitting there after you read it, like, man, I could see that in Washington. I could see that playing out like that. It's one of them type of stories, and I think it can create room for more because there's a bigger agenda of the villain that's going to play out over the story, and I ain't figured out what's the end game of the story, how I want it to totally end out, but I definitely want to be on some. Wow, this was on the line. This what the good guys are up against. This they got to stop because oh my goodness, this is crazy. It's on that type of time and vibe, and it was fun writing the story. After I did the first read, then really went through, cut all the music off, and just read it and make sure I was locked in. Did the first edit, like man, this is a dope story. Because normally when I write something, I have it'd be like, wow, you really put that out there. Wow, you really got vulnerable. But I mean, I found comfort now in this space of transparency that God got me on. So writing this story down, it's like, okay, I feel good about it. And if you're a writer, potential author, you should feel good about what idea in your head that you brought to life. You should. Now, you don't share everything with everybody because some people don't first to think, in my opinion, some of my experiences to be celebrating with you that you started it and you finish it. They be more to the critiquing of it, and that could dim your energy. So I had some experience where I really learned keep it to the vest. I'm working on something, and then you will meet people that really is that. Oh man, that yes that Mike Ellis taught me in the books we read about. You have an idea, you just need that one yes to really ignite that fire more. And I know one or two, maybe three people like that, but the ones that I would expect to get that from, I've learned now over time. Don't even just keep working, just keep grinding. They know when everybody else know, because it can dim your light a little bit. You be so amped and hyped that you had this vision. Your God gave you a vast imagination, and you brought it to life. Then you tell this person about it, and the energy and vibe they come with be, well, why are you doing it this way? But what about this? A person that's going to, your audience is going to be someone that's going to be critics looking at it at A, B, C, D, E. You like, I get that, but this ain't the time for that. I'm doing something that people ain't doing. There's probably a lot of talented people out here that got a book or two in them that are hesitant to do it. I'm actually putting the work in to do it. And we're going straight to let's get the red pen and mark up what's wrong with it. Like, what the hell? And you're just getting a vibe where you like, I shouldn't tell this person right now. As you thinking to yourself, like, I shouldn't even told them. Well, the only thing they come with is just the negative. They ain't come with the support like, oh, duh. So what made you write the story like this? And that's the energy that really takes you farther with it. But sometimes you got to be the energy yourself. Because, I mean, on my journey, I'm learning God will show you stuff, and it ain't for everybody. When you get there, you can bring a lot of people with you. But on that journey, sometimes As the tribe between Roman Reigns say, you know, it ain't about it's about you and your family. Smash them all and go do you. Don't worry about everybody. Don't be everybody's friend in the locker room. Because you learn, shout out to WWE, you learn a lot of life lessons from wrestling. And even though your journey sometimes be like that, like everybody don't need to be privy to what you got going on. Just grind. Just lock in with what God put on you and see how far you can take it. And something that motivates me the most when I go on these ventures, I look at my college degree. I still gotta get my championship belt made. That's something I did want to do. And I was gonna walk around my party before COVID. But until I make my championship belt for my degree, I look at that as my championship belt. Like, took you 20 some years to get your degree, but you stuck to it, you finished it. So it ain't nothing you can't do, man. Do the research, pray on it, see this something you should be doing and how you should be doing it, and go to work. And along that journey, what need to happen for it to be is going to happen. The people you need to talk to, or the people that at certain moments you need to encourage you, is going to come along and keep you going. So I know I know one person, my homeboy Joe, been my brother from another mother since 6th grade. And I remember a while back when I wasn't, so I was kind of had lost my writing vibe for a minute, going through other stuff. And he had hit me up like, you know, so what projects you working on? And I start telling him I got this political book, got this. He like, okay, get to writing, man. What you doing? And that was the first time I really had someone ignite that spark. Like, man, come on, dog, get them stories out here. What you doing? You creative as hell. Quit playing. Keep writing. Get them out here. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That reawoke me to get back on the grind. With like, yeah, get after it. And periodically he would hit me with how it's coming. Like, almost done with it. Like, okay, keep working, keep writing. Like, and that really did reignite the writing. Writing takes a lot out of you, man. That's one thing I will say. Like, what's a downside of writing? It's very time consuming. Even if you use Skynet, Chat GPT, or the Google Docs speak to it for you, it's still a lot of brain power to come up with those things. Because you want it to be good, you're going to put some focus, time, and attention and detail to it. And when you do, like, wow, whew, that was a lot. Okay, I'll go to the next one. So I'm definitely excited about the book because, man, gangster, man, gangster. The way the way the villain implement his plan is just like, wow, that's how you feel about it. Man, you got to read this book when it come out, man. It definitely got to become a movie because, man, I need to see it in real time how it unfolds, what the characters look like in real time. And I always ask everybody else when I interview them, what else you got coming up? Well, I already edited the comedy movie script, so I'm working on what's the next steps to get that to where I can be doing the casting for actors and actresses, where I'm gonna have it released, or if I gotta do it myself, work on those steps. I got another book I did write. Well, I wrote 2 books, the premise down. Actually, no, my bad. Think about 4 premises. But the next 2 I do plan to work on. A crime drama, haven't tackled that, but watching a lot of stuff the BMF, the Power Universe, and other stuff. That got me to wondering, like, what would be your take on a crime story? So my story is, well, the premise of it is, what if Jeff listened to the dope dealers and ran with them? How would he do it? Now, this ain't no how to be a criminal type stuff. It's just very, very imaginative. How would you go about it? And watching The Wire, all them great shows, like, well, what would be your take on it? So I wrote down a premise of that story. And then, I mean, I remember when I really got back in the word years ago on believe TBN, they show a lot of Christian movies. And they showed a few that was dealing with Revelations, end of the world stuff. And I used to look like, he's cool, but they ain't bringing the funk, man. All the technology we get now. Then after Avengers Endgame, I'm like, man, I need to make it myself. Because I know you can make a real dope. Because we always paint the picture, if you're a Christian, especially on the Super Bowl for Christianity, is Easter or Resurrection weekend. Like, what would a story like that look like? And you had a supernatural of it with the regular, and I saw how Supernatural TV show blended the two. I'm like, I could come up with some Avenger Endgame type story dealing with God and his troops and the devil and his troops and be action packed. So I wrote a premise story down for it. So that'd be next I work on. And yeah, it's gonna be some mollywhopping going on in that boy. It's gonna be some battle scenes. For real. That's gonna be a dope one. And another, I wrote some like a treasure hunt one story. And I wrote a premise about a secret service agent. So I might be maybe 5 or 6 stories I wrote because stuff comes to me, I write it down. So those being the works down the pipe. I got some other projects, skit wise coming. I know some people ask, like, okay, you wrote a movie script. Will you do another one? Had to figure what I want to write about for the second one. I did want to do the comedy one. I think that'd be cool. I thought about the squad, me and my fellas. Like, a story about how it was at Cooley. I never thought about writing that type of story for a movie. Romance, maybe. But another movie, I really gotta sit and think though. Like, okay, what movie would I really want to write? Another movie script type story. That one I really gotta think about because it's definitely a little bit more work to write a movie script, and definitely more story arcs. But I had to see because I wrote one. I don't know what that'd be. Maybe a music. I don't know. Nah, because I got music in that one already. I don't know. That's good. That's just really thought about it now. That's a good. I had to think about that. What I do for another movie script, but there's more books coming up. Let's get more situated. I got at least 15 songs for my third album. So 10 gospel, 10 all the genres I like, all positive. Get to working on that one. Figure out the merchandise. I do want to wear my own stuff. Anything else coming up? I'm working on utilize my press pass. Um, They want to do some more speaking. I don't have nothing lined up right now. So for the moment, that's all I got in the pipe, coming down pipeline. What was the biggest challenge on this journey, this story? Time. Make sure you allot the time to write the story. That was the biggest thing, because times when I would be writing, stuff come up, and then when I get back, I ain't in the right mindset to write, so I put off to it another day. So finding the time to write your story will be the biggest thing you deal with the most. Impacting community, my words. I never thought about it, but maybe hopefully whoever watching me get inspired to get into a creative bag, figure out what their interests are, and bring them to life. Then always the other game question ask everybody else, what advice have someone trying to find a purpose? Definitely ask God your why were you created, and He will tell you. And think about stuff that comes naturally to you to do, and until it might sound corny, but it's real. What would you do for free? Because we all got to work, got to make money, take care of yourself or your families. But a lot of people are not really in a purpose. And COVID really was a catalyst, like a reset of what should you really be doing. At the time, a lot of people thought the world was going to end. Like, well, we read the Bible, you have different thoughts on that. But a lot of people left them thinking like, okay, I've been doing this right here, make 20,000 a year, and I hate it. And they might need to be a teacher or something else. So find your why. And when you do, you won't be someone that look at money as terrible. Oh my goodness, money can go to, you're going to seize the day. Like, let's go. Every day you're gonna have that fervor to be energetic. Let's get it. Let's get after it. Let's make today another great day. Or how you look at things changes perspective. And you do those things, I think you'll get on that journey and you'll be amazed at where it takes you. Real talk. Because I can't say it enough. Only plan after 2019 was to be utilize my business degree, making some music, not building a radio broadcast company, not really doing anything journalist. Like, I was on a Cooley paper freshman year in 92, 93. What y'all talking about? I don't know about no journalism, but if you done it, it's in you. And that a lot of skills you probably encounter stuff is there. You just gotta re-wake them up, keep sharpening them, iron sharp iron, and do your thing. So I look forward to releasing this book. Probably try to do a pre-release. And I forgot. Didn't put my thing up here. No, it's not the one I want. Where is it? There you go. Forgot to put that on the screen. And man, it's a great book. I'm still working on want to have a book signing. Gonna figure that out. But I hope this encourage, inspire someone as an author or a writer or someone looking to do content in any form. I'm doing it. I started from nothing with this, and you can Google me now. It still cracks me up that wow. You can look me up and it shows what I've been doing, what I got going on. Like, wow. You're a public figure, Jeff. I never looked at it, but nah. So own it, because weekly you doing content. Got another great guest though to interview next week. It's been another amazing person, another amazing story. Inspire someone. Another great episode of Ground Floor at 9. Don't want to miss it. I'm looking to works to head to Georgia. Maybe I'll get together, go down there and do a show live somewhere. I think that'd be dope. Even work on that with me and my sports show. Even this one. Take the brand on the road a little bit. But it's made stuff coming up. I appreciate the viewing, support. Keep tuning in. We're going to keep it going. And you're trying to achieve something, don't let nothing stop you. Only you going to stop you. Enjoy your weekend. Till next time. Thanks for tuning in to Middle Ground with JLE. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to buy my products, go to Amazon.com for my books or my music. Like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Middle Ground with JLE. And more to come. See you next time.
Detroit, welcome to the D, baby.